Well, looks like to me we need to make a phone call.
What was holding his front up?
I don't think my skills are that good at repairing that. Well guys, we're back working on the headers. So we've just been poking away at a couple of things this morning. This is actually the other header front than what was here before. We dropped the other one off. Basically it's pretty much done, a couple of little things, but it doesn't need to be here. So yeah, we're starting to work through on this one. I've actually just on header number 2 here, yeah, I was waiting on a belt and a tensioning rod, so I've got them all ready to, well, got that all put together. So this header theoretically should be right to start up, but we do just have the feeder house chain to replace, because yes, that one's broken, and it looks like, yeah, if that's broken there's probably a bit of stress in other areas. So just to be safe, we're putting a new one on. But what we're going to do with this one, I don't know where I'm walking, hang on a minute, is we've got a bit of an issue with the mount up here. You can see up here it's all flogged out, it's actually torn away at the top. Yeah, it should just ride on that pin there, but it's obviously got some issues. You right there, Josiah? Might have to cut that. So we are going to take the front off the adapter. So they're actually two separate things. So all of this section here, well, that's actually for the fan system for when we need to put the big air comb on it. But this adapter here is what you have, yeah, depending what model of header you have, you can, yeah, you have a different one of them. But we're going to remove the whole front from that, and that'll make it a lot easier to repair this. And also we've got to swap out this drive roller here. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So we've got to just take off a few hydraulic fittings and do a few different things, and then we should be right to just dump that bit on the ground. So yeah, I'm gonna pull these fittings off, and there's a few on the other side I think, and then that should be just about it. So we'll see how we go. Well, I think we're ready to fire it up and yeah, go. We're just got to take that link off after I have it on the ground, and I guess we'll find out whether we've forgotten anything. It's actually really windy today, so I apologise if it's a bit noisy, but it's the first sort of summery day. Yeah, I think it's going to be 32 degrees today, so yeah, it's only going to get worse from here, I think. might want to grab that. I think that's broken. Well, that's not what you want to see. I think part of the end came off. Josiah's just going to pick it up. Oh well, it's a good thing we pulled it off, eh? They do cop a flogging header fronts. It's not, yeah, I wouldn't like to be one. Well, looks like to me we need to make a phone call.
What was holding his front up?
I don't think my skills are that good at repairing that. Deary me. Good thing we pulled it off. That side too.
I don't think that's supposed to.
That one's wrecked too.
At least we didn't lose the front. No, don't do that.
Wowzers. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, birthday time. We've still got that feeder house chain to do, but we've kind of started this now, haven't we?
Yeah, but this might take a little bit longer than that.
Maybe. So I think they're pretty important, these bits, and they're actually about $700 each. Just that metal bit, not this other bit, but just that metal bit in here. And there's not a lot we can do. We could try and make one up, but we'd probably spend a day doing that. So yeah, it's probably not worth it. So we'll get some new ones of them. We probably will just, it's not as important, this top metal bracket that's all broken off here. We'll probably yeah, make something up there, fix that up and make our own adapter part there. Yeah, that should be easy enough. And we've only need these rubbers, so the other rubbers should be fine. They should do the job. So yeah, I mean, it's good we picked up on it, but yeah, it'll be good to get that sorted. So hopefully they got those parts in town, so yeah, I'll probably pick them up tomorrow. But yeah, what we'll do while we're waiting on that is fit this. So I just got to back off some tensioners and stuff so we can actually turn it, and yeah, hopefully we can just hook the new chain up to the old chain, pull the old chain out, and it'll pull the new chain in, and yeah, do it that way. That should make it easier, I think. Well guys, Josiah's done most of the work for us, so that's good. I think you're nearly done?
Should be all done.
Should be all tight. Just got to put the shroud on. We're going to have to run a tap through some of these holes. Yeah, not so good, and maybe use some new bolts. They were just spinning in that one. We're trying to pull it off, but yeah, we've got some more parts coming tomorrow, so we'll keep chugging away there. Should have the bits that go on here. Yeah, they should be there. And what else? Oh yeah, should have a new drive roller here for this one. Yeah, and then once yeah, I think we've got just a couple of little small jobs to finish on this one, and then we can, yeah, get into header number 1. We've got repeat bearings to do. We've got a couple belts to replace. What else? I can't remember. I did write out a list, so I can tick it off as we go. But yeah, there's a fair bit that needs to actually happen to this, so it'll be good to get into that. After I do a parts run in the morning, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Well, good morning everybody. I've actually skipped a day. Yesterday was just a lot of little things that were happening, and we're getting parts in and trying to organise parts, so I didn't do any filming yesterday. But we're back here today with both the headers, and we have Josiah ferreting over there. It looks like actually we haven't done anything for the day. I didn't film, but yes, that cover's going back on there for the feeder house on header 2. We've got these bits here for the front on header number 1. Where'd the busted bits go? Hey Phil, where'd the busted bits go for the header? You put them in the bin? Which one?
There's one over there and 2 here.
So, oh yeah, that's not even the really bad one. The really bad one, when it got pulled apart from the other bracket, it just about disintegrated. So it's missing the whole half of it there. So needless to say, that is getting replaced. But yeah, so this should all look nice. Once that's, we've just got a couple more parts for that, and that'll be ready to go. And yeah, just yesterday we're checking things like lights and all the boring stuff. So we are just started. Well, actually, I've done the other side already, but I am going to do the repeat bearings, the bearings on the repeat shaft. So that is that trapdoor off under there, but you can see an auger that goes through that way, and it yeah, it's actually a this half for that auger sends the grain this way, and the other half sends it that way, or the repeat. So that's anything that isn't thrashed properly, it falls down into that and then goes back in, and then goes over the sieves again. And there's these a little drum in here which gives it another little rough up to try and maybe there's some grain that hasn't quite released from the plant or the husk or anything like that. So it gets another little touch up there and goes back over the sieves, and that way it helps you get a much better sample without throwing grain out the back of the header, which is not what you want. So I've got to pull the bearing off, pull the belt off. I've got new belts coming for that, and then I've got to pull this shaft off, and yeah, do all that. Now, something I have done on the channel before, which I think I was actually polishing the rotor shaft. Anyway, but you get one of these belts that go on like a bench grinder attachment, a linishing attachment. You flick that inside out so it goes on the inside. And on the drill, this is one of those rubber mount, like, so, you know, if you're mounting something, you want to take absorb a bit of vibration or something. It's just a rubber mount. You hook that to a drill, and this can save a lot of time. You just got to have the right tension on it. You've got to pay attention. There you go. It makes it a lot easier to get this bearing off and also the other one on. But they're quite tight on this shaft, so all the others I've basically had to do is I just had to cut the bearings off, unfortunately, because you can't really get the puller in behind there easily. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain really, but I might have a look, see if we do have a puller that I might be able to get to work, but yeah, a lot of the time it's just easier to cut them. It's a little bit after I last took some footage, a couple of hours or so, but what has been happening is, again, just double checking part numbers, things like that. We've replaced a few belts. We've got replaced a couple of these return belts, one on each side. We're on header number 1 at the minute. So what I'm going to do now is we've got the rotor belt to replace. It is this big one here, but you can see up there it's got a split, and it probably will be fine. There's a good chance it'll last the whole season without an issue, but with canola it is very hard on rotor belts, and yeah, we just don't want to have to. It's not really easy to replace, so we don't want to have to do that in the middle of harvest. So we've got a new one there. While that's off, we're going to do this feeder drive belt as well, and yeah, because it'll be a lot of, well, you basically have to take the rotor belt off to get that one anyway, so we'll do them at the same time. So that's the next job. Slight plan change. The belt that I had for this turned out to be the wrong one, so gonna have to wait for another one of those. Yeah, so we can't do the rotor belt until that's on, and I can't do this belt until the rotor belt's on. Yeah, anyway, it's one of those situations. So what we did do was there's a pivot arm up there that is a tensioner for that big belt, and there was just a bit of a feeling in there that it was a bit dry, so I pulled that whole arm off and yeah, just hit the bearings out, and it looks like it was good that we did, because this is the little assembly here that goes down inside that, and yeah, this one, oh, which one was it? This one here. You're not going to be able to hear it, but it's yeah, not feeling real flash. So I don't think we've got those bearings. So we've got a lot of those, the shaft bearings with the locking ones on it, those sort of type. But yeah, we've got a very limited supply of standard normal bearings, so have a bit of a look, but I think we're going to have to order some of them. Anyway, it's good. It's good. We're still a few weeks away from harvest, so we're getting through it. I don't know if I actually said anything about the blue tractor here. A couple of months ago, well, actually a year or so ago, we'd have issues with the front diff. We couldn't engage forward drive, and also there was something not right in there. It was yeah, not good. So we were sort of limping it. We still had to use it, and just limping it to while we needed to use it. And we actually drove it into town, and it's just come back in the last couple of days, all fixed. So yeah, it's all ready and raring to go again. So that is good. I'm going to be away for a couple of days. So yeah, I don't know where we're going to get to, so we'll leave the video here for now. And like always, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, and we'll catch you in the next one.